My name's Cam Hilliard from Miller's RV in Baton Rouge, and we've helped thousands of customers, whether new or seasoned vets, get out camping in style and camping in what they want to camp in. Today's no different. Let's talk about boondocking. How's it going, guys? So we're here to talk about boondocking, and boondocking can be a number of different things. Basically, in layman's terms, it's camping somewhere where you don't have water, you don't have sewer hookup, and you don't have electrical hookups. And basically staying anywhere. It could be public lands, it could be a parking lot, basically anywhere where you're allowed to stay overnight. So let's get into more as to why you would want a boondock. So you might ask, why would I want a boondock? Well, if you click this title, you probably wouldn't be asking that question, but over the last 5 years or so, really since COVID, it happened some before, but really since COVID, boondocking has become more and more popular because campgrounds are harder to get into. Let's be honest, they've gotten a little bit more expensive. Now, yeah, sure, they have more amenities, but if you're trying to avoid the crowds, avoid the higher costs that sometimes comes with campgrounds, or just get into more remote and scenic destinations, well, boondocking could be perfect for you. So today we're here to talk about how you can do it safely, smartly, and what to pick as the right vehicle. So I was standing in front of the Mount Rushmore of boondocking vehicles here a minute ago, the Winnebago Echo that we're in now, the Revel, as well as the Travado with the lithium package. Those are three of my top picks. I'm sure in the comments you guys have plenty of ideas of what's the best too, but that's what I like. So I'm not here to tell you how to boondock. Everyone boondocks differently. It all depends on your needs. But I wrote down a little list of just some things that I thought are great tips to start you off when you're considering boondocking and then once you actually get out there. So a couple safety tips. So the first one, you're going to want to scout your spot first. You can use apps like Camp Indium or iOverlander to check out the area beforehand. You also want to conserve power. So you having solar panels are important, but even more important is going to be having lithium batteries, or even if you're somewhere where you can run a generator, especially if it's one of the new own-ins that are very quiet, that's a big plus as well. Or if you're in an Echo like this, where you have the lithium and the generator, that's kind of a double whammy and kind of the best of both worlds. Big recommendation of mine is to bring your own drinking water, you have to use any of your tank water to drink, although it is filtered in all these applications, but it's good just because you can save that stuff for showering and wash your hands. It'll make you last a little bit longer while you actually are off grid. Also, this is kind of depending on what RV you're in, but bringing extra fuel is not a bad idea, whether it be like via jerry cans or something like that. And let's be honest too, jerry cans look sick on the outside of these vehicles. So you could do that as well. Also, it's a good idea to stay level. You want to be relatively level with most of these RVs. If not, you can risk damage to certain components and things like that if you're on level for a very long time. And then probably one of the most important things other than safety is to be aware of the local laws and the wildlife, because in Louisiana, there's not as many places where you can, other than, not gas stations, Cracker Barrels and Walmart parking lots and stuff like that, where you can go stay overnight. But if you're somewhere out in like Colorado or somewhere where you have BLM land, that is a fantastic resource just to pull over, sleep, and you can stumble into some of the most beautiful destinations you would ever have dreamed of. So some of my equipment recommendations that I have as well, I mentioned the solar panel and the lithium batteries. A fantastic option as well that a lot of the Winnebago adventure vans are having. The Travado does not have it, but the Revel and Echo both do, will be a cassette toilet. Someone's gonna have to check the legality of this because I've heard mixed things. But with the cassette toilet, you can actually dig a hole in the ground and dump your poop. I'm almost certain that's legal. Again, I've heard some mixed things on that. That's in some places it's not. Again, it's good to know the laws of where you're camping. And then, as I mentioned, bringing some extra water and even extra fuel, I think is very, very smart. Another thing, this is one that I'm kind of in between on. I have this as on the packing list, but depending on who you are and how you want to camp, you may not use it. But having like a cell booster or some kind of like Wi-Fi router could be really good, but if you want to unplug, then it might be better not to have it, So that one is, again, just depends on how you're going to use it. Now, something that I would recommend, especially if you have a cell booster or something that's going to help you get signal on the phone, then you can use your phone's GPS. If not, if you don't have that, or if you just don't know if that's going to work well, if you don't want to trust it, actually having like a pre-downloaded like Rand McNally GPS or just some sort of it, the brand doesn't really matter, but an actual GPS, I think is a great tool just to have too. It doesn't take up much space. It's obviously very lightweight. So as far as packing goes, you can find space for it, but it'll make sure that you're always safe. You can boondock any way you want. It's just depends on who you are, how long you're doing it, and who you have with you. So if you'd like any recommendations, I love to chat with you. It's probably my favorite segment of the camping industry is the boondocking. So I'd love to chat with you. If you've got any opinions too, especially those of you who like do strictly boondocking, let us know. Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this, like the video, hit the subscribe button. We'd love to stay in touch with you. And as always, enjoy the journey. So one last thing before you go, guys, we are so close to 10,000 subscribers. This has been a goal of ours for a little while. You know, hit that, then on to the next one. But we'd love for you to join the family. If you hit that subscribe button, we'd really appreciate it. But also, if you want any information about any of the products I talked about, whether it be the Echo or the Revel or the Travado, or even some of the cell boosters or Wi-Fi providers like Starlink that I recommend, we've done videos on a lot of this stuff. We're going to link them down in the description for you below. Make sure to check them out. We really appreciate you guys stopping by. We'll see you next time.